Welcome to Masjid Taqwa Interfaith Center official podcast. I am Imam, AL-Amin, Abdul, Haqq.
And I'm Ahmad.
We want to discuss today something that is so basic and so fundamental that's applicable to every human being, that it just cannot be overlooked. And that is your God-given innate human rights, And I wrote a few things down just as a reminder because we want to explain this. And we want everyone to know your God-given rights. Not what somebody tell you this is your constitutional right. I'm talking your God-given rights. That you must be able to, that you must honor for yourself first, and that you must demand in your life from others. And the first right that you have is your right to life. That is the first fundamental right. Because if you exist and you are a walking, thinking human being, a live creature, in other words, then you have a right to life.
To live. Right.
You have a right to live.
Yes.
What does that entail? What does that include? Well, what makes the human being sustain his life?
Food, water,
air. So there should never be any institution or situation that blocks you from getting the oxygen that you need to sustain your life.
Right.
I'm going to take you on a different path with that. There is nothing, no institution that should also, because when we look at air represents inspiration. Mm-hmm. There should be no institution, there should be no rule or law to prevent you from being inspired. By whatever inspires you. If you have a mate that is saying, no, you can't do that, and that inspires you to be the best version of you, then that's when you say, wait a minute, you're trampling on my right.
Right.
So the right to life not only just say the right to live and breathe, but you have a right to live.
Yes.
And can't nobody take that from you.
That's right.
And also, like you said, water. Mm-hmm. What system is in place to prevent you from having a right to drink water? I mean, God created the water. Am I right?
Yes.
People have been drinking water way before these cities and principalities and municipalities have come into place and saying, well, we own the rights to the water.
Right.
And the city going to charge you
yeah.
For this water system. When it's the same, God's been giving us water to drink for years. Yes. There's no land on the earth that doesn't have a source of water that is clear and drinkable. Springs are everywhere. Everywhere. You dig deep enough in your backyard, there's some fresh water.
Deep down in there.
So that's another thing. You have a right to water. You have a right to food. There's no system that should be put in place for you to tell you that you have to eat a particular kind of food that may be damaging to your own human life. Because we know in slavery, they gave us what? The worst.
The scraps.
They gave us the worst of meat to eat. Yeah. And by God's grace, by God's grace and mercy, we were able to sustain from that. I mean, people look at the word. In fact, let's cover that, because this famous delicacy that we love in our so-called soul food society, chitterlings. And it's funny because the slave masters used to say, give the slave the shitterlings. Shit, y'all know what it is. Shitterlings. But because we really couldn't understand their speech and we were still learning to speak this English, we would say in mocking chitterlings.
Yes.
And we know that it comes from what?
The intestines.
The intestines of a pig. Which holds what?
All his waste.
Feces and waste.
Yes.
Or as our parents would say, shit.
Yes. Boo-boo. Poop.
And I don't care how you clean it, it's still, that bacteria is still
in there.
In because the pig does not have a what? A strong vein system.
Right.
So it does not discard what has grown in its tissue. It becomes a part of it. So you're still eating that bacteria when you eat those chitterlings.
That's why God said, don't even touch it.
Don't approach it.
And it's in the Bible, Leviticus 11:7. You can read that.
Pork is not good for the human being to consume in food.
He's a scavenger for the earth. That's
But no, there are some parts of the pig that God has given us the science to use to help us sustain life. Because some of the anatomy of the pig is similar to that of a.
So you can take a pig skin and put it on you if you got burned. You got any kind
and some of the arteries.
Yes,
some of the
similar, right?
That's what they use. Some scientists and doctors use some of the same things to help when a patient has become cardiac.
Right.
So you have a right to life, but God wants you to have a good and wholesome life.
Yes.
So it tells us to eat that which is good and pure and wholesome. And there should be no system in place to restrict you from living a life that makes you that allows your life to be good and wholesome. Exactly. You're gonna confine me and constrict me to food that's gonna kill me, give me high blood pressure, cause cardiac arrest, pulmonary disease. Mm-hmm. That's not it.
Cancer.
So when you see a system like that, you have to speak out against it for your own self or go against it and not support that system and give them your money.
Yes.
So unfortunately, we have got in the habit of supporting a system that ain't no good for us. But you have a right to life, and don't let nobody restrict you in that life. The other right that you have that God has given you. See, God gave you the life. So no human can put in place a system that undermines that.
Exactly.
Because what do you think? He has the authority, God's authority, to dictate life? No. Another thing, your right to freedom. I don't know no human being born shackled. No human being born constricted and confined in a system. A baby is not confined or constricted. It's what you have put on the baby that makes it confined and constricted. You have a right to freedom. God gave you that. Don't fall into an ideology or system that tells you you are only free to a certain extent. You can only be free over here in this neighborhood.
Right.
See, that's what this freedom is all about.
This country,
or this country,
or this part of the world, or whatever. Yeah.
You can't live over here. Well, now you're trampling on my freedom, my right to freedom. God gave me legs and told me I can travel where I want to. Wherever I have the capacity to travel, I can go.
Yes.
But if you don't do that, then you're allowing a system to dictate that actually you're not free.
Nope.
Who told you can't live in Highland Park, University Park? Who told you can't live in Lake Ridge? Who told you can't live in a fine established home just like they do? drive the best car. That's trampling on your freedoms.
Yep.
And you are allowing them to trample on your freedom. That is not God's way. That's man's way.
That's man's way.
See, man want to always have the edge.
Control. But God is in control.
God is in control.
He always
we
in
discussed
control.
that last week. Who got the power?
God got the power.
Man ain't got none.
They just sit there and trying to control it in a way where we oh man, we gotta go do this. No, we ain't gotta do that. Long as we in the realm, like you say, of God, His laws, then the laws of God gonna override man's law any day.
That's why Christ said, man, he's not subject to the law.
That's right.
Because as long as he follows God's law,
it's gonna override
then man's law is not subject to him, because God's law is a law of righteousness.
Right, exactly.
Don't kill.
Don't steal.
Don't steal.
Already.
Don't bear false witness, meaning don't lie.
That's right.
You see what I mean? Don't make false accusations against your neighbor.
Yes.
Treat your neighbor with kindness.
Yes.
You know, treat your parents with kindness. This is the law of righteousness.
Yes.
So that's why he's not subject to the law, because he's already following the righteous path.
And they know it's right. They're trying to bring the 10 Commandments back. So they know. They know.
And that's another thing.
They know.
Don't get bent all out of shape about them introducing the 10 Commandments back in the school.
Yeah.
If you are a God-fearing person, then you understand that these laws need to be in the school.
Right.
These kids need to know, stop killing each other.
Yes.
Stop stealing from one another. Stop lying on one another. They need to know this.
That's right.
And this applies to Jew, Christian, and Muslim.
That's right.
And if you just a person who wants to be a good, wholesome person, these laws don't trample on you being a good, wholesome person. These 10 commandments.
And I wanna add this to what you're saying. When we was going to school, every day we had pleasantly. I know it's an American way, but we had some structure.
We had Pledge of Allegiance, and we had the 10 Commandments.
Yes, every morning at the loudspeaker, the principal said, or whoever is leading it today, because sometimes his assistant or somebody get on it, but most times it be the principal on there with that. So they took it out of school. So what that does, it brings in what you saying. They started doing all kinds of stuff.
Ungodliness.
We didn't have all that in school.
No reminder of God.
We didn't have none
No
of that.
reminder of a creator who controls all things. No reminder of social righteous conduct. No reminder of it. So we need that in the school. Don't jump on any bandwagon. You have the freedom to do that, but don't use your freedom wisely.
Yes.
Use your freedom for the benefit of yourself and for your family and for others and your fellow man.
That's right.
You have the right and freedom to do, because that's one of your innate rights that God has given you. Can't nobody take that from you. And when the system is in place to take those God-given rights from you, then guess what? You got to stand up against it.
Yes. You got to fight against the injustice.
Another right that we want to discuss is your freedom of speech. So we're talking about the 10 Commandments, which is the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech. Nobody says that if you are atheist, you have to follow it, but you follow it anyway.
Yeah.
Your parents teach you that. Yes. It's not good to lie, son.
Yes. It's not good to swear.
It's not good to kill another man, son. Don't kill nobody.
That's right.
So you already, where you get that from?
That's right.
You got that from the law of righteousness. You didn't get that from just you being you. No, that was taught to you. Your mother taught you from an early age to do the right thing.
Yes. That's true.
But there should be never a time where a human being cannot. God created this.
Yes.
The Quran tells us that He gave you a pair of lips and a tongue.
Yes.
Right? The Quran tells us that God created this system. And you are the only creature that is gifted with intelligent speech.
Right.
Because even the birds can speak to one another.
Yeah.
Even the beast can speak to one another. Yeah. A dog can bark a certain way, and the other dog, he know the warning signal.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? An elephant can roar and get the attention of. So even the animals can speak, but none of them can have intelligent speech. And you are the only one with intelligent speech.
Yes.
See, your speech can define a word.
Yes.
Your speech can explain a word.
Yes.
Your speech can intellectually demonstrate a word.
Yes.
Without even have to write it on the wall. Your speech can give a clear picture, a clear diagram of a word in action. Yes. You are the only one who can do that. Yep. And most importantly, your speech, you're the only one who has the speech of God. Yep. On his tongue, protruding from his lips. You're the only one. That's why in our theology, in Islamic theology, you are the leader of the world, of the physical world and the spiritual world. You lead the angels. The angels don't lead you. Because the angels, we are told that the angels only do the will of God. They never deviate from the command of God. No. They only do what God has commanded them to do. That's right. But you who has not seen God, you who cannot picture God, you who don't have an image of God, who does not see God, but you worship him as though you see him, even though you see him not. Right. And you have the ability to make a choice, to say no, but yet you still turn to God. So you're more qualified to lead than those who are forced to lead.
And I add this, when in the Quran it tells when he was creating, when he created Adam, and when he was asking Adam to tell us what's all these things, the angels couldn't say nothing. They couldn't even tell. They around God, they see this stuff all the time. They didn't even know.
Are you gonna send one who? I don't think they could.
To do with shed blood.
Where the request was, are you going to make one who going to shed blood? And that's because they've seen that already on earth with the beast that was already in existence.
Yes.
That's what their nature was, to survive, shed blood, kill one another, and survive.
Right.
And God said, I know what you know not. Yes. And they also said, we only know what you taught us, or what you have shown us, or displayed to us.
That's right.
That's all we know.
That's all we know.
And God said, I know more than what you know.
Yes.
So, I mean, you have the right, dear people, our brothers and sisters, you have the right, but make your speech. And we've been told a phrase in the Quran when it says, Ya ayyuhalladina amanu taqu qawlan sadida yusli lakum a'malakum. It says, "O you who believe or who trust in God, have faith in God." And notice it didn't say, "O you Muslim."
Nope.
It says, "O you who believe in God, who trust God, who have faith in God, who has made God their insurance policy." Right. It says, always make your speech truthful and right. And if you do that, he will make righteous your deeds and forgive you your sins.
He always say, be true in words and deeds.
Make your speech good speech.
Yes.
Inspiring speech. Encouraging speech. Yes. Speech that consoles another human being. Right. Kind speech. Right. You get more with honey than you do with salt.
Because you know when you go against the grain, you're gonna escalate a problem. But if you go do, hey man, come on, man, that's gonna dim it down. But if I get on the level you're on, you're gonna escalate. We might kill each other. We might go in rage. But
fire and fire.
It's gonna
spread.
It's gonna spread. So that's right.
One of the other rights, for the sake of time, one of the other rights that you have is the right to work, meaning the right to pursue. Now, this is something I really want to discuss because we act like we don't have this right. And we act like we have allowed others to prevent us from pursuing.
Dictators. Yes.
Pursuing this right.
Yes.
Or implementing this right in our life. We act like we don't have the right to pursue material excellence. You think God just made material excellence for some and not for you? When he's your God and their God? And everybody was born the same way? That means you born on same equal footing. Their parents may be giving them some leg up in their social standing, but ability-wise, you probably is more gifted than they are. And they understand that, so they do whatever they have to do to cheat the system to hold you back a little bit, because the destiny of God will be fulfilled. So don't let nobody put in place a system for you when God is giving you the right. Let's look at how this right is innate. You have, it's two components that is necessary for you to be able to be successful, materially successful. The first thing is you got to be a thinker.
Yes.
You have to know how to use your mind. In other words, use your head. You got to be able to think of a way of how I can implement some ideals and put them together and make a decent life for myself. Who gave you that mind? God did. The other thing you have to have is ability. You must have the ability to not only use your mind, but let your mind match your actions.
Yes. Exactly.
And when your mind matches your actions, now you're putting together a product, or you're putting together an ideal, and you're manifesting it with your hands. God gave you that.
Yes.
Look at your hands. It requires some use.
Yep.
This hand, it just ain't got 5 fingers for nothing. 4 fingers and a thumb. Do you know that scientists say that there is no tool ever created better than the human hand? Do you know that? The greatest tool ever made is the human hand.
That's good, because when you, like you said, if you got a screwdriver, the hands got to turn that screwdriver.
I mean, the way it grips, these hands have the ability to unscrew and screw.
Yeah. It might not tighten it up as tight as a what's name, but it does.
Will it give me an apparatus I can tighten it up
That's what I'm
just
saying.
as tight as an AI
Yeah.
machine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's exactly true.
So God gave you all of this. This is your natural God-given right. Some of us are not exercising our God-given rights. We let other people dictate these rights and tell us which way and how to go and what to do, when God has given you the right to do it, pursue it on the highest level. Some of you have minds to run a multi-billion-dollar corporation, but you won't pursue it because you have fear.
Yes. Yep.
That somebody else controls your outcome.
Yeah. Man, you can't do that. Man, you ain't gonna be able to do that.
Man, them white folks ain't gonna let you do
that.
They're just gonna say it like it is.
Yeah, no, real.
Y'all know them white folks ain't gonna let y'all
You know
do
what
this
the
here.
fear came at? In the Black Wall Street. When that Black Wall Street happened,
It was before then.
I know it was before then, but when we set that up, because that's the first time we set up that system like that over here in this America. And in this America, I feel that time when that happened, that they put fear, Man, you know they might do us like they did Black Wall Street.
They feared the rise of the American of African descent way before they even brought them over here. They knew of their prowess. History tells them.
Right.
You know, we were our history. If we look at our history, our African history, because that's what we are, Americans of African descent.
Exactly.
And if we look at the history of our African descent, we weren't no small change. We were already running the shores of the Americas all the way to Mexico. This is why they have statues in Mexico of the old Mex who were Africans.
Yes. Yep.
In Mesoamerica.
Yep.
In Central America. In Brazil. In Colombia. In Peru. In Guatemala. In El Salvador. Look at their complexion.
It'll tell you. Yep.
So we were here already. We were, our ancestors were kings, queens, rulers. Africa, Egypt, the great civilization was once ruled by the African descent. Not all the time, but a great majority of the time. Lower kingdom and upper kingdom. So we don't have to buy into this idea. They feared that when they first started digging up the treasures. And realized, wait a minute, you mean that them over there, that dark skin did this?
That's gonna take them over here. We can make them build.
There's
over here.
I mean, you look at this as something that has been standing for thousands of years, and it's still one of the wonders of all the worlds. So I mean, and the versatility of the American of African descent, and they don't know they really made you a bad creature. Not in a bad way, but in a very good way. You're the most versatile, the most flexible, the most kind, the most giving, forgiving, and loving creature that I've ever seen.
Yes. And that's what they fear of. They be like, man, we've been doing these folks like this all this time, and they still humble. They still, you know, they be like, man, that's that God-given
Listen, for the sake of time, because we are beyond our time, next week we're going to discuss our children and raising our children and things that the men must do and the things that the women must do to make our children successful.
Yes.
But don't let nobody, teach your children to work. Yes. Help them get good work ethic so that they're not living off of some pipe dream.
Yes.
Thinking that something's going to come to them out of the sky. That they got this, I got this gift to everybody ain't going to be no rapper. Everybody ain't going to be no NBA star.
No football player.
Everybody ain't going to be no football star. You can't tell me because I know. Been there, tried out for them.
Yep, sure did.
So everybody, I don't care how gifted you are. You know what the odds are for you probably have a pool of 10,000 running backs. How many think going in the draft? And then those who are signed free, how many you think? No more than probably 100 per year.
Per year.
So, listen, everybody ain't going to be able to do that. So you have to learn to use the tools that God gave you, because he did not leave you short on anything. Nope. He gave you the right and the tools to navigate your life and perfect your freedom to life.
That's right.
So we thank you for viewing with us. We thank you because our audience is growing. We thank you. We thank you for sharing our page with others, and we thank you for viewing. You know, we don't know everything, but there are some things that we want to address to help.
Like and subscribe to our channel, and we're going to close with a prayer. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Praise be to God, the charity stand in the world, most gracious, most merciful, master of their judgment. Thee do we worship, but thine name we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those on whom thou bestowest thy grace, those whose portion is not wrapped, and who go not astray. Amen. Thank y'all.
Peace.